John and Peter had some stamps. Peter had 23 more stamps than John. After Peter gave away 57 stamps, John had thrice as many stamps as Peter. Find the number of stamps Peter had in the end. So when we look at this question, straight away when we see this, okay, always ask ourselves what kind of transfer is happening here. So this is what we call an external transfer. Why? Because Peter is giving away. If Peter gives to John, then that will be called an internal transfer because the transfer happens within both of them. Right? So now, I hope when you read this, you will probably have two methods that comes to your mind straight away. You can use the before change after method or the model method. Okay. Now, but of course, in some situations, certain methods would be better than the other one. All right. So if we look at this, imagine if we use before change after method. Okay. That means in our before, I have 23 more, the comparison. I will need to draw a model in the before part. All right. They have a change. Then in the end, this is the after, thrice. Also probably, probably I'll need to use a model as well to illustrate this. And you'll notice that usually when we have model in the before and after, if we think of this, we rarely use a before change after method. Okay, because it's not so direct that we can tell what should be the same throughout, or we only use before change after if let's say we have like things like total unchanged. Okay, then this will be useful, and then somehow the total will be given to us, or probably difference unchanged. And of course, you use this method whereby if they have values given to Peter and to John individually, either at the beginning or in the end. However, in this situation, in this question, do you notice that we do not have any idea of how many stamps Peter have? I also do not know how many stamps that John have, either at first or in the end. No idea. Okay, so things will be challenging if you use before change after. So what I would suggest us to use is to use the model method in this case. All right, so I'm teaching you how to identify under which type of question, which method would work better. Okay, so for this, we use the model method because we have no idea how many stamps individually they each have. All right, and also it's an external transfer, not internal transfer. So let's start off with drawing Peter have 23 more than John. Okay, so we'll work on that. Peter, 23 more than John. So since you know you are relying on just model method alone, make sure you draw your model long and big enough. Okay, this is the 23 more. Now, of course, you can put the 23 inside, no issues. Okay, that's fine as well. You do not need to write outside here. Now, Peter is going to give away 57 stamps. Okay, so what we're going to do with Peter's model is we have to shade away 57 because he give away. So how to shade away 57? Of course, your 57 will have to include this 23. So of course, normally when we shade, we try to shade from the right-hand side onwards, not from the left like that. You always move from the right. So 57 will have to be way larger than 23. And you're going to extend a dotted line down. And of course, shade this off. Please shade neatly. Use zebra lines to shade like that. Okay, this will be a very neat way of shading. Now, once I shade away 57, in the end, what happened is that John would have thrice as many stamps as Peter. So if John has thrice in the end, what it simply means is that in the end, John must have 3 units worth of stamps. Peter will have 1 unit worth. Okay, so in this case, you can see that whatever Peter is left in the end is this white color portion. This, we will allocate it as 1 unit. Okay, and John, he has 3 units. You see, whatever John here, I didn't touch at all because John remains unchanged throughout. So simply, I can just throw in there, this will be his 3 units in the end. Now, of course, some of you might ask me, oh, teacher, why cannot I cut into 3 units? Okay, you can, of course. But when we shade this 57, sometimes we do not, okay, when we shade away the 57, we wouldn't have thought about making sure this 1 unit will be in proportion with this 3 units when I cut it later on. Okay, unless you have planned that ahead before that. Okay, but of course, you can cut, but like I say, it's not necessary. I would think just putting 3U and 1U, this is good enough to represent your whole model later. Okay, to represent your current model and of course to work things out later on. It's not an issue. Okay, so now, okay, we can start to solve looking at the model. So we've finished recording our data. We have finished recording the model out. Now let's look at the model. So we got to work with the units first. So you see, I have 3 units worth here and 1 unit here. Okay. Now look at the difference. This 1 unit is actually part of this 3 units here, right? Okay. So I hope you can tell that the difference between this is your 2 units, and where does the 2 unit lies at? Where does it stretch from where to where? Okay. 2 units will have to stretch from this dotted line to this dotted line. Some of you, I know you have difficulty visualizing this. Now, just if you have difficulty on this, just imagine that you're running, you and your friend are supposed to run 3 units from the starting line here to the ending line here. You have already run 3 units. You ran 3 units already, but your friend only ran 1 unit up to here. So your friend still has 2 more units to run. And that 2 more units will be from here, continuing all the way to the ending line here. Okay, so this is one way to help you know where to stretch across in terms of the difference of units. Okay, so 3U minus 1U, we know that this is 2U. Now, and notice that we can work out the value of these 2 units. Okay, so next thing is to work on the value of the units. So 2 units, I hope you can see, is your 57 minus away 23. It's like part and whole model here. Part, 57 is the whole. Okay, so once you found 2 units, of course, your next step is always to find 1 unit from there. 1 unit is 17. Okay, now read the question. The question asks for, every time you found 1 unit, always read back the question. You want Peter in the end. Okay, Peter in the end. So ask yourself, where is Peter's model in the end? Is it the white color part or is it the whole thing? So in the end means whatever is left without the shaded part. So whatever is left is the 1 unit, which means you already got your answer. 17 stems in the end. Now, if I were to change the question, ask you how many stems does Peter have at first? Okay, then your at first means Peter's total model, the whole stretch from here all the way to the end. That is his at first. Then, of course, very simple. You just need to take your 17 plus the shaded part of 57. Or you can find 3 units here, then plus 23. That's fine as well.